feels like the time is right for me to make an expression. Oh, I love you, I need you, I don't want to leave you guessing. So, will you be my friend? Will you stand by me till the end?
Hey y'all, welcome inside my real kitchen. Today I'm gonna try something paleo. I've been researching the paleo diet a little bit because I am on assignment to make a paleo bread, but it's a harder assignment than I thought. So I've been starting small, baking little paleo muffins, just figuring out exactly what I need to cook it all the way through and make sure that it's not dry or it's not too wet. In the paleo diet, eggs are utilized as well as meat, but no grains or legumes. Today I'm going to try something different. I'm going to use chia seeds instead of eggs and make this a vegan paleo, mainly grain-free because it won't be paleo in the cooking method that I'm going to use. Donuts. That's right, I'm going to fry them. Okay, this is a totally experimental recipe. I'm making this up right now, but it's going to be like fruit juice, chia seeds, coconut flour, coconut palm sugar, baking powder, arrowroot powder, something to flavor it, I wonder. We shall find out. Now we have our paleo donut ingredients, and we're going to mix them all together and let them sit for about 45 minutes to an hour. We're going to start with about 3/4 of a cup of coconut palm sugar. Now I don't know if coconut palm sugar is paleo per se, because I know that they use maple syrup, but this is what I have, and so it'll have to do. And I'm going to add 1.5 cups of orange and pineapple juice, 100% juice. Again, not 100% sure if this is paleo, but this is what I have, and that's kind of how I roll. All right. I'm going to let the sugar dissolve a little bit in here. And I'm going to add 1/3 cup of chia seeds. This is going to make the viscous, mucousy binding texture that will keep them together in place of the eggs. Or so I presume. And this is why it needs to rest. These chia seeds must be given some time to develop their membrane. All right, 1 cup of coconut flour and 1/4 cup of arrowroot powder, as well as 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder and a pinch of salt. Let's get it all really well incorporated here. Now there's going to be a lot more liquid than dry because the chia is going to absorb some of that. Oh, and I thought of something fun to flavor it with. I don't have any coconut extract or vanilla extract, which would be really nice in this in like a subtle sort of donut pastry way. But what I do have are some vitamin C packets that are raspberry flavored, which will give it a nice color and possibly a little raspberry zing. So I'm gonna give this a try. It's like adding pixie sticks to vegetable oil and making lip gloss, except we're making donuts. See, wow, we've already absorbed a lot of this liquid. Hopefully this doesn't have like a medicinal like cough drop, cough syrup flavor because of those, but we'll see. Okay, I'm gonna add just a little bit more water so that the chia seeds have some room to grow. I'm adding 1 cup more water in the hopes that that's enough to get the chia seeds to really blossom. Not that I want this to be like slimy, I just want them to have room to fully develop. This looks better. Now I will cover this and we will let it rest for 1 hour. All right, after a good rest, our batter is pretty firm. Well, not really. Interesting. I'm still gonna try it like this. Now, because this is an experiment, we're gonna cook it 2 different ways. I'm gonna bake it in mini muffin tins, and we're gonna try frying it. So, my oven is preheated to 350 degrees. I'm gonna fill these little tins. And then we're gonna try and fry some of this. I don't know if this will hold together in the fryer, but we'll find out. Might be a mess. That's okay. I think anything is worth a try, and if you think it might work, do it. I know it's disappointing if it doesn't work out, and you know, you worry about the cost of ingredients and things like that, but keep trying. Keep working at it and practicing. You'll get it. I'll get it. We'll all get it. Throwing these guys in the oven. Got our oil nice and hot here, so I'm gonna try and drop just a little bit of this wet donut batter. Interesting, it stays together. This may work after all. We'll see, we'll see. If it starts to split apart and sort of deteriorate, I think we need to add a little bit more arrowroot powder. I'm gonna add a little bit of a larger piece, see what happens. Doesn't look like it's holding together very well, so I'm gonna add a little bit more starch. I did have to adjust them a couple times. Last time we talked, I was adding a little more arrowroot powder to thicken up the batter a little bit. Well, I overcorrected and then overcorrected again. And the original overcorrection was actually the water that I added before I let it sit. It didn't need all of that. It would have been fine with just the juice. So after adding the arrowroot powder, I added a little bit more coconut flour because I thought it needs to be thicker. And the coconut flour thickened it up really quick. I added too much. So then after that I had to correct again with some juice, and it was still much drier than I wanted it to be. But I think our little paleo donut holes came out just fine. Now our muffin tins are still in the oven. They're incredibly wet. They're not done cooking yet. What should we top these donuts with or put inside them? Our muffins finally came out of the oven, and boy, do they have a bright raspberry scent. Now, this is the very wet batter before it got any corrections there, before it was fried. So these are soft in the middle, and they smell a lot like raspberry. I'm gonna let them cool off before we try and take them out. But I've decided on a filling for our little donut holes because they do have a hint of a raspberry brightness. I'm taking a little bit of frozen tropical fruit mix that I have and letting it thaw, and then I'm just going to puree it as is, put it in a piping bag, and put a little burst of fresh fruit in each one of these. That'll be nice, right? Sometimes things really just don't work out, and this is one of those days. These donuts, they're not terrible, honestly, in texture, but as you saw, It was a disaster trying to get the fruit inside because the fruit wasn't broken down enough to fit through the tip. Such a silly mistake. And I just made a big mess. Now we can try one of these muffins to see what they're like. Ooh, it's pretty gooey. Ah, yuck. Darn. That's why I keep trying. That's why I never stop. That's why I'm always hungry. So that I can get better. Thanks for watching. See you next time.